We're back. The latest book on Sarah Palin has everyone buzzing. It sparked a lot of noise out there. Author Joe McGinnis moved in next door to Sarah Palin back in May of 2010 to begin researching the book. He's come away with some revelations about the darling of the Tea Party. Joining me right now is the man himself, Joe McGinnis, the author of The Rogue, Searching for the Real Sarah Palin. Joe, thank you so much. You're one of the world's, I think you've been a great journalist all these years. You're a great crime reporter. I guess I'm asking you to do something I've not been able to figure out. What is the reason why we talk about Sarah Palin? What gives her that on-stage, I guess I have to call it sparkle, pizzazz, charisma? What is that thing in her that gets people interested in her?
Well, she's a natural-born entertainer, Chris. You know, she has charisma. She can deliver a great speech to the proper audience as long as someone writes it for her. And she's capable of saying just about anything at any time. So this unpredictability, we watch her as if we watch someone walking across a tightrope, wondering if they're ever going to get to the other side.
Well, you quote several people in the book, throughout the book, as saying that Palin's push hard to get what they want. In fact, you write Palin learned this from her father, Chuck Heath. Quote, they were bullies. Essentially, that's what Sarah and her cohorts are today. She learned from her father, if someone disagrees with you or does something you don't like, annihilate first. Ask questions later. Like Chuck, she's all about intimidation and fear, veiled threats, verbal violence, complete disregard for the welfare of victims. These all come from Chuck, that's her father, and they're all inherent in the current persona. Now, you talk about her husband, Todd. What did he say to you that day that gave you the sense he was threatening you?
He said when he walked across my lawn to ask me who I was and what I was doing there, and I told him that I was renting the house that he had formerly rented. He had moved out. The Palins rented that house until a few months before I moved in. Then they vacated it, so the woman who owned it rented it to me. He didn't feel I had a right to be there. And he said, we will just see how long you stay here. And he shook his finger in my face, and he walked back across the lawn, and 2 hours later, Sarah had a post on Facebook in which she made hysterical accusations about me. You know, I learned a lot about Sarah Palin from living next door to her, not from what I learned directly, but from her reaction to my being there. I learned that she has no control over her powerful negative emotions. I learned that she will tell malicious lies about people, as she did about me. I learned that she has a remarkable capacity to incite hatred on the part of her followers. And I learned that she will do anything to get her way.
Well, what is this when she said in that posting you mentioned there, she said she accused you of overlooking her daughter's bedroom, she being a creepy sort of stalker. She accused you of looking into her little garden, she describes it as a sort of place there. And then my family's swimming hole. She's making you look like some creep who's almost dangerous. And do you think she was inciting people to hurt you or what?
Yes, this is what I mean by the malicious lies. My house didn't overlook anybody's bedroom, and she doesn't have a garden, and they don't have a swimming hole, but she'll just say anything when she's on one of her temperamental tears, and I happen to be on the receiving end that side. Todd, her husband, is the same way. He'll say anything. He came out with a statement about my book last week he said that I was obsessed with his wife. It's really hard for me to believe that these people actually think that themselves, but they don't hesitate to say it, and that stirs up a lot of the unstable, extreme right-wing followers. Now, Sarah Palin was not directly tied to Gabrielle Giffords. We all know that, and I'm certainly not trying to paint a connection there. But some of the emails that I got last summer after Sarah made these preposterous accusations about me were so filled with hate, so filled with threats of violence, that it was a very educational experience. I could see what that anger can do when it's expressed by people on the right wing, most of whom have guns and believe Americans have the right to use them.
What do you make of her after this? You must have a sense of her. Does she believe all this right-wing religion of hers? Does she believe that Christians should have dominion over America and some sort of theocracy? Does she buy into that, or is that show business, or what?
No, I think that's at the heart of her whole political career. That's what got her into politics in Wasilla in the first place. She was in a prayer group led by a woman named Mary Glazier, just as a housewife in Wasilla, and Mary said that one day the Lord came to the prayer group and selected Sarah for political office. She was mantled, she was anointed, and she moved on from there and has consistently advocated the extreme right-wing religious agenda, dominionist Christianity. Sarah Palin believes that the separation of church and state should end.
The name of the book is called Rogue, Searching for the Real Sarah Palin. By the way, Joe, what I think she's up to is she won't run. She'll try to be the kingmaker behind Rick Perry at a key moment, and she'll try to run the country through Perry. I think she matters. Good luck with this book.
Thank you, Chris.
The Rogue may matter in the end more than we want her to.